From a nobody to the Legion of Honor, here is a story that deserves to be told. Alice Guy was a normal girl, like any other. She wasn't destined to anything great. I mean, as a woman in the 80s, what could she do? Yet, you might be surprised by the way this story ends. Alice grew in a very creative environment. She got into literature thanks to her father that was a librarian, and her mother would always tell her stories. No wonder why Alice had such a keen interest in creating fiction. However, Alice was far from being a lucky girl. She spent the first 3 years of her life with her grandparents in Paris, away from her parents who lived in Chile. She then lost her father and his business went bankrupt. This forced her mother to find a job, but she didn't manage to keep it for a long time. And so Alice had no other choice but to start studying to get a job herself. At only 21, she became the executive secretary at the Comptoir Général de la Photographie, owned by Félix Max Richard. But it was then taken over by a name you might know better, Léon Gaumont. It's after a projection by the Lumière brothers that Léon decided to buy the rights of the chronograph, a slightly less advanced version of the Lumière brothers cinematograph. Léon had in mind to create documentaries with this device, but Alice had bigger ideas. So she came in his office with drawings and plans of what would be the first fiction of cinema. Léon accepted, under the condition that it wouldn't affect her productivity at work and this project would be done outside of her working hours. It was in 1896 that was released the first fiction movie, and it was called La Fée aux Choux. And it was meh. But back then, it was crazy. However, this wasn't enough to make Léon realize the potential of fiction in cinema. And so for 11 years, Alice had to keep on working on her projects outside of her working hours. But that didn't stop her. During her lifetime, Alice made more than 700 movies. She made her own studio, became the woman with the highest income in the USA, and got a Legion of Honor. Unfortunately, many of her movies were stolen and are now attributed to people that didn't make them, for the simple reason that people didn't like for a woman to be that powerful. Alice isn't even that famous. The invention of fictive cinema is often attributed to Méliès, but from this unfair life can be taken a lesson. There is no such thing as unachievable. Alice was born the wrong gender at the wrong time, lost her father and his fortune, had no one to believe in her for 11 years, and yet she shaped cinema as we know it. She definitely wasn't meant to shine, but she forgot it wasn't possible and did it anyway. Now this is true greatness.